I'm glad to be here, and especially for Elk River Books. It's amazing because the landmarks that I have all been scratched off, and being from a third world country like America, we all beg China. Anyway, this is Elk River, this river that you live by. And when I knew I was coming over here, I felt good. And then for you people to come out, I had to go around town inviting people. No. But anyway, it's nice to be here. And we have my grandmother, the one that raised me. Her name is Batish. That's a clan mother of hers gave her the name. Joins everything she joins. And that woman that named my grandma joined all of the things that the Crow Indians had, tobacco societies and everything else like that. And so they wanted my grandmother to be like that, and that's how she was. And her dad, back in the old days, they couldn't kill him, so they let him go over there north of the Yellowstone, or a place they call Crow Rock in the sandstones now. But so his horse that protected him and took him into battle and back was, you get a gray horse, his tail, you look at it in the sun, and it's light. It has some of the white in there, and gray and the black. And so when you look at it in the sun, it's light. And so and then in the winter time, I know that we've passed the winter, we think, and that's good, but you people have winter here the year round. It seems like, no. It seems that way, but in order to be able to be on the side of that horse and to throw an arrow under your horse's neck, you had to be close to the maker. You weren't tied on or anything. And so a lot of, we still put the war paint on to send our boys to Iraq, and then when they come back, we have our dances. And I know I had a little brother that was over there, and when he returned, we were all happy. And so and then we talk about the peace and war and everything else. But in the wintertime, I wanted to sing this song, and I couldn't sing the song, so I jumped on this gray horse of mine and took off away from the river when Medicine Tail Coulee and the Little Bighorn was under, they were under about a foot of snow, and just the sagebrush tops were sticking out. And up Medicine Tail Coulee, you can see the timber on North Reno where ash trees are thick. That's what we call that creek, but in English and the surveyors, they put that on there, but Reno Creek, they put that on. And so here it goes. Riding on fresh snow that's been falling for several days, the ground is white, with sagebrush tips sticking out. Riding through snow, it's quiet. Where rivers go, the trees are black. The ground is white. Where there are pine trees, it's sort of blue, almost black. And still further beyond, Wolf Teeth Mountain's pine trees are darker still. There's nothing but the cold wind looked like smoke. Ash trees where they're thick, it is black. Gray on riding, his breath is white. Gray ground he is like this day. My song I'm singing as I'm looking around where the sun appears, pink peeps out of blue sky. Going to get many horses riding gray, they won't see me. In white, gray, blue, black, winter day. My song I'm singing. That's how that one goes. And you can my grandpa, you see, in the wintertime we just bundle the house and ask Grandpa, how did they used to keep warm? How did they keep warm in the teepee? And said, well, they dug a hole in the middle, and then they put cattails about that thick, and then on the teepee, the inside lining about this high, they tucked that underneath and put the cattails on there, and then they put buffalo robes on the cattails, and then they closed the neck of the teepee. And once they got the big fire going, they put the green wood on for a long duration of the fire. And so the door popped open, and this was March. We call it March, when the sun is the same for those 2 days. The sun is the same in this moon. And so the wind and the snow comes in from the north. The cold, treacherous winter that is mean and kind to no one, then quits and comes in from the east. When the teepee is facing to, our teepees are facing the sunrise where tomorrow is from. And when it hits us, and then now we don't build a fire at night too much, and so the warm air, we're not hoarding it. And so the door, we just take it easy, and it comes in and pops the door. And Grandpa, the door's open, and he said, yeah, go check and see who's out there. He said, and look around and come back and said, Grandpa, there's nothing out there. And he said, check again. So I went out and come back and said, Grandpa, there's nobody. And he said, that's the Maker's way of showing us that we have passed the winter. Now it's coming in from where the sunrise is from, where tomorrow is from. That's the Maker's way of showing us. Now, go talk with the wind. They say there are a lot of nice things in the wind. Nice things you bring for us. And so we talk with the wind, and we feed the water, and we smoke with the four directions of the wind like that. And then talk with the stars, and talk with the moon and the sun. And he said, the tunes are in the wind. Said this old man was going through the camp as the sun's, my grandma would always say, the sun's first rays are the most powerful of all. And my girl had problems with her lungs. And so every morning, with the first rays of the sun, I bless her with that, and then ask that she live a good life and everything, and then going that way. And so this is how we think of it. The spirit of Mother Earth comes out in the first rays of the sun, like that. Oh man, I'm a mess wherever I go. But but they call me any old way, and so that's my name. And Henry, any old way, but I'm okay. So this old man, he was going, and the sun was just now coming out, walking through camp. The wind was blowing over a hollow log, over this log. That's how it is. The tunes are there. And so I always talk about my grandfather all the time, but that's just how it is. He was a pretty good old guy. That he would always talk about talk to the anthropologists and everything. And so all right, sound of sun. I can always ride a beautiful pony and walk through the pines as the bell on the horse's nose bend rings in the whisper of wind through trees. Rich fragrances carry love home like a bird carries horsehair to its nest. Words of love build a house of love. Let feeling go way out in the heart, fly in love. I have asked that nothing clings to your heart as you go riding through life filled with happiness and joy. The beautiful feelings of your love led the sunrise of a purple-topped sky above an orange-pink spray of life in the sunrise. My grandfather once said, if you are lucky enough, someday you will hear the sound of the sun rising. Someday, the sound of the sun rising is what I've asked for you to hear. May you see and use what is good in life as you go riding, filled with happiness and joy. And so that's how that one goes. And he would always say, you can hear the sound of the sun rising. And so this is sort of like a supernatural plane that's out there that the mountain men have experienced. And okay, I have you can ask questions. All of the questions you've always wanted to ask an Indian but were afraid, you can ask today, all right? So you get ready with your questions. And how I ended up writing was, I'm a product of the Montana educational system, but I was looking at a ceiling for a hospital ceiling for a summer once, and then I started dreaming and writing, and as I went along, I didn't really pay attention. I read Longfellow and Tennyson and Thoreau and Edgar Allan Poe, and the sadness of writing. But anyway, I just read, and I had teachers, and going that way. And then, this is all I've ever known, was to be a teacher. And that's all I am, is a teacher and a cowboy out in the hills. And I was at the racetrack, and this old man that I go to the Sweat Lodge peony meeting and some dances with, and that I pray with a lot. And he takes care of me, and I take care of him too. And he was at the racetrack. And by then, I was doing flannel board stories for the little kids because I'm a teacher. And then I was doing children's books and stuff like that and playing around. And I asked that old man at the racetrack, and he was at the racetrack. And I asked him what he was doing there, and he said, he said, Driftwood, I am like my heart's way. I can't do. I'm catching a ride. Unbelievable to have that, to say it in just those simple words. And here I was looking in books, and I know the value of research and everything else, and I value that. And I value the curriculum that we have in Montana and so on and so forth. But anyway, there it is. And I said, we have to have ownership on things. But I asked him, Jimmy, can I have those words? I give him a 20. and so that's how we do it. We pay for it. And so he said, Jimmy, can I have those words? And he said, he's my dad, my clan dad. And he said, yeah, you can have those words, and I'll ask for more beautiful thoughts for you. And so I gave him the money, and I took the words and put it in my heart, type of thing. And then you talk about the driftwood is moving now, because the waters are high, and the driftwood moves around and goes until the water recedes and goes down, and the driftwood cling together on the inside bend of the river. And so then that's our name for clan. I know we have to speak in English and everything, and the word clan, but for us, clan means lodges of driftwood. Lodges of driftwood. And so the lodges of driftwood that I belong to is Big Lodge. And then my dad, I'm a child, I'm an adult of my mother's clan, and then a child of my father's clan, and my father is Whistling Water. And so I'm a child of the Whistling Water, and we tease there and so on and so forth. And so I was thinking, yesterday was Mother's Day, and I was telling my wife, why should I be looking forward to today, because I have no mother? No. But no, I have mothers back home, I told her. The Whistling Water women at home are my mothers. And so in life, I always have a mom and dad, and then I'm a father to all of the Whistling Water children. And so the Maker set it up to where we have that. And so love is the most powerful feeling. There was an old man, his nose was busted up, and he had scars and everything from the intertribal warfare. And so they asked him, and they said that old man wasn't even afraid to die, you know. And so they asked him when he was an old man, he said, what's the greatest thing upon this ground? It's the love of a woman is the greatest thing. To die of old age is nothing, he said. And so we'll put together this thing about should I do this or should I not? And I always say, man, I should have just stayed home That way I wouldn't have all these scars on my face and my nose wouldn't be busted 7 times. No. So maybe if I just worked at the teepee service station in Croydon, Montana, and combed my hair and brushed my teeth and went to church and talk about the weather after church, maybe I would have been happy. No. But anyway, so I just like Robert Frost, I took the road less traveled, and I always like that in that poem there. But so I went to the Mild City Bucking Horse Sale. I turned the cows loose, and I went over there, and they changed the laws on me, and I didn't know that. Now you can't walk out with a mixed drink or an open bottle of beer. And so I went out and they caught me, and I got drunker than 10,000 white guys. And Custer County caught me and charged me $100 for bed and breakfast. And so I got up and I went to the river, and I even lost my hat. But when you go out, I remembered, you know, my grandpa would always tell me, do you want to go not eating much? If you're crazy, you'll be walking. And so here I am, I'm walking. And I jumped in the river and I come back. Oh, I jumped in Elk River over at Mount City. And come back out, and I saw this cottonwood tree, just a leaf just fluttering from last year. Last year's leaves just still on there, just fluttering in the wind. And so I thought about it, and it came out. How much longer do you want to be in the wind? Elk River's edge there, I'm standing looking for a feeling in the wind. Feeling got a roam, so I reached in the roar of the water for a feeling in the wind. Driftwood feeling floating down Love River, heart's way can't do 'em, catching a ride floating down Love River. Driftwood feeling floating down Love River, heart's way can't do 'em, catching a ride floating down Love River. Somewhere between the reflection of the stars and the feeling of life and love, where you can hear the stars in the wind. Feeling twinkling and fluttering in cottonwood leaves, just a feeling in the wind from yesterday and days gone by. Can I have tomorrow from yesterday that I borrow? Driftwood feeling floating down Love River, heart's way can't do. I'm catching a ride floating down Love River. Driftwood feeling floating down Love River, heart's way can't do. I'm catching a ride floating down Love River. That's how that one goes. I'm glad I've done that, you know. And this tune, I was I don't know where it is. Some swirls. If it's in this one here, if I can find it, I'll do that. But okay, here we go. It was my birthday, and my wife came up to see me. I was on the road on Elk River, and that's when I rode on the Missouri River in the Earth Lodge. I wanted to pray with my people, and then I rode with my people at Doxa. And then I went on, and it was my birthday over at Malta. And so they came up, and I was talking with this friend of mine on the radio. And afterwards, oh, it was beautiful. The moon, it was a full moon. And it had a moon shadow with the reflection of the moon on top of Milk River. And it was just beautiful. And you know, I always panic, and I always get excited, but that's just why I'm that way. I mean, the way I am. And even just running the half mile or the mile when I was young, I'd get nervous on that. And so I was talking with that friend of mine, and then I sometimes I forget things, but my grandpa would always say, "You're close to God, that's why that happened." And so I would always say, and some people, they might hate themselves for making a kind of a mistake and then beat themselves up, but if I make a mistake like that, I always think that I'm closer to the maker. No. That's how my grandpa took care of me and everything. And so this one here goes, okay, I've got the spotlight here. Sunrise worlds. Recapitulation of the sunrise world's thoughts of man's civilization recedes, waves on shore of sand, attached to a reality now touches in lifespan, matched links mark beginning of end strand, scratched thoughts drawn on rock of cave preserve, our humble beginning recorded in computer reserve. We question, wonder, learn, origin, and beyond, shifting winds up the canyon walls, no barrier, we yawn. From the constant vigil of progress that marches toward both ends of the spectrum, cloning to nuclear arches, we give life and take life. That's how that one goes. I picked up the first moon that I left the reservation to go to Western Montana College. The word recapitulation was used by a teacher, and it took me a week or two to figure it out. I still don't really understand. But anyway, so I'd done that, and I said, man, you know, this is what I should have done. Put it in there somewhere. Just one more kiss for the last time. I'm telling you, come back. Hold me tight in this beautiful moonlight. Farewell, sweetheart. Wait, no, wait, no, like that. I wanted to sing for the moon. There was but I'm not so far out of this world to where once there was a girl, a hippie Croatian girl that I really, you know, how a hippie and a Indian are the same is that they both bump cigarettes and drink out of the same bottle. I'm actually a hippie, but I'm still going. Anyway, I just enjoy being around people that think, and with I had this thing to where okay, I had to set it here, the long gentle slope going into Elk River with the mid-morning sun covering jagged peaks with the pine trees connecting the gentle slope of buffalo grass. And I have my warrior going with long hair and on a long mane and tail, black paint, and riding in the wind and going after the buffalo herd. And that's what I was working on. And then said, no, the first rays of the sun hitting Shot Boulder Mountain, making the snow pink on top of the mountain as the sun is coming down. And so then that came in a dream. And so then I dropped the setting of Livingston and then moved back to the Prior Mountains. And so this is how I write. This is how I write, and I hang on to that. And afterwards, I got in there, and I wanted to do a setting minus what man has made, a lot of the concrete and so on and so forth. And in the story that I was doing, we were using plates of moose horn plate, bark plate, and a rock plate. And so all these things are there, and I always say that I'm lucky because my grandfather told me all these things, and all these other old people that would help, and my grandma would always say, the most powerful of waters are the waters from above. And so I would write about things like that. Today, I saw the near full moon, the daytime star, emerge by its side. Shortly after, the sun stole the pink and the blue as I was riding home in front of a soft, gentle night. When I rode through the pines, they were drenched in heavy dew. That is what I asked for from Grandmother Moon when she showed us her moisture rings, rainbow rouge, announced blurred ground. Among the fog and close to He who first did everything, my heart is good as I ride through these pines that drink water from above, the most sacred of all waters upon Mother Earth. Bless my horse and me as I think of you. Last night the moonlight was bright as day when I saw a feeling headed my way, then stopped. That's how that one goes. But I used to go for a walk in the moonlight, and you know, a sheepherder has I'm not going to talk about the beauty in the eyes of a sheepherder, no. Beauty in the eyes of a sheepherder, right, like that one. But anyway, the sheepherder barricades himself in at night. And so I was out walking, and I saw someone coming at me, and I just turned around and went home. And so I don't know if that was just like, did I hear that in a dream, or was that real? Stuck between thought and a dream, you see. And so there's something out there, and C.M. Russell calls it the sixth sense of the Indian. And so for us, we leave the spirit alone. There are people that deal with the spirits and everything, but we just leave them alone. And so that's how that one goes at the end there. When I saw a feeling headed my way, then stopped. And then going that way. And they talk about how that feeling can touch your face. Something out there can touch your face, and your face will be uneven. And my grandpa, he would always say, the medicine man had that eagle wing bone whistle, and he said his patient, his face was crooked like that. This part was down. So he used that, he was on this side, and he used that whistle. And then it was even. but he kept whistling until this side was down. No. My grandpa, he said a lot of stuff. So here, okay. I was telling the kids there that the history of education on Elk River, this part right here, was that 1860, a man by the name of Wolf Bow sent his boy to school over here on Mission Creek, and you can still see where the foundations were of the houses that were there, the first houses ever created for Crow Indians to move from the teepee to the house. And so how those civilized savages referred to being really civilized was that they can go to the bathroom in their house. No. That's indoor plumbing. But anyway, they bring in, Dillon, Montana had a bunch of prefab houses over there that were substandard for state of Montana, and so the state of, so the tribe bought them. Just like brucellosis buffalo that we eat, we eat them all the time too. But anyway, the road, it had little 2x4s for the floor. And so that was substandard, so they didn't use it. And so they're about half the width of the road to where they can move them and take them, and how these plastic containers are killing us, and that's what I write about life in Montana and reservation in the world type, and all right, this one goes like road wide. Run-down mobile home trailers surrounded by broken down junker cars, white, clear, orange plastic jugs clutter us. Reservation life skewed toward poverty in a flimsy prefab double-wide world. We cannot afford gas price increases, yet we are targets of federal funds, the remnants of old wool blankets of bygone buffalo days. Goals and objectives in our name yield money, but it doesn't make a Confederate dollar's worth of difference. We are a revolving platter for everyone to swipe while we marinate in alcohol, depression, and laziness. The aesthetic appearance of suicide is a shining star, while some hold books of blank pages. They say we don't look like where we originated, like beer advertisers who don't look like beer drinkers. Life in the tourist brochure is so far-reaching, it doesn't look like Indians in a homeless shelter. We search for the maximum internal coherence to get to the closest possible fit to nature for the new image of life in a healthy constellation. That's how that one goes. The world is the way it is. We still have to keep on living, and this is what I'm always talking about. And this one here, I can, when I was younger, I rode horses. I mean, I still ride horses, but you get jobs to where cowboys don't want to really live out there no more. They'll come to town because they have a feather light horse trailer and a Duramax diesel. They can cover a lot of country, and so they had a bunch of cattle up on the Prairie Mountains, that's south of Billings there, and so they were still short about 250 to 300 head, and those cowboys, they would leave the main ranch and be up there by 10 o'clock, and then work until 3, and then go back and be at headquarters by 5 o'clock to go home to their own beds and everything. And so they had problems, and the cattle, it was tough up in the mountains and stuff, and this is getting to be November, and so they had a buckaroo boss, and he brought in a boy from Idaho, and then my boy and I, we went in and took our beds and saddles and horses up there, and we rode, And it was beautiful. Will James country down on the bottom, on the top. Some of the mountain tops that Will James drew, that's where I was. And so the sunlight was coming in, and the wind blew the snowflakes, and the snowflakes just snapped and popped, and the light was so beautiful as I got on my pony that morning. And to be, I thank the Maker for making me the way I am. And to sit there and wait for the cattle to come in so you can turn them, so we won't lose them. And the snowflakes just flat appear on my horse's mane, and I'm part of that life like that. Okay. There might be a feeling. Your beauty is the sparkling of snowflakes snapping and popping in early winter wind, in morning sunlight on top of Shot Boulder Mountain. Large snowflakes melt on my horse's mane like your feeling clinging to my heart as I wait in the timber of lodgepole pine to turn cattle that'll come my way. Life is so peaceful when you are a part of the movement of earth like rain. River keeps flowing under reflection of your feelings that go in your direction. I remember a horizon dotted with horses that clinged that escalator toward the clouds and down on the valley floor. More horses darted across clearings. I have seen a lot of beauty. Yours is the lead feeling I remember. My dream is to be the dream within you. I think I know where there might be a feeling like that. That's how to be out among that beautiful the beautiful country is amazing, and to be at peace with it and to accept it and to not really want to change, because one time we were going up to the mountains and I had pop in a glass and a pop bottle, and I wanted to drink that. I wanted to drink it, and I got off the pickup and I dropped it, and it hit the rock and just shattered, and then the sweet water I wanted to drink was gone. And I said, "Grandpa, I wanted to drink that. I wanted that." And he said, "You know, Mother Earth wanted it more than you." And so I always think of that. And I always remember living life that way. And just like the horse that the cowboy boss ropes for you, that's what you ride. And I'm able to do that, and I'm lucky. But all right, here we go. Last night I went to the moon's reflection. This is the moon's reflection. To use the moon's reflection, see? You can do that. It's there. What I'm talking about, it's all yours. Last night, I went to the moon's reflection so I could ask for your love. Chunks of ice floated past me as I went into the moon's reflection on the waters of the Little Bighorn. Moon, "Old lady, help me. The woman from Greasy Grass who lives where the sun rises, where the thunderbird sits. Make her love me. That is what I am asking for," I said as I went past her reflection to submerge into loving feelings. I walked back on frozen mud among the stars and wondered if she would ever love me like that. How much more time?
As much as you want.
We're not going to have you here all night, so don't worry about that. No. About 10 minutes?
Sure, that sounds good.
About 10? So you do this here. Like that, yeah. That's our word for Sioux Indian. Because back in the intertribal warfare, they slit the people's throats and stuff like that. And then our word for Pawnee Indian is Chait-Bajak. They had their eyes weren't completely round and a little bit of a slant, and so looks Wolfman had wolf eyes. And so then when we saw the Japanese and the Chinese, we call them the same too. And that's our we have English that we use here, but within that we have our world there and our language. And my name is Bajiwajich, and that's timber leader. And my grandpa, his name was eyes taken out. When they peel your eyelids off, then you can see reality and see what the county commissioners are doing to you. But anyway, he had a dream, and in the dream, the crows were dancing, and they stopped and said, "Now we are said, now we are going to sing Timber Leader's song." And they sang a song, and so you name one of our grandsons Bajiwajich, Timber Leader, told his wife Otter stays in water, doing water. That's my grandma. And so when my mother, her name is Cow Necklace, a man, an old warrior that became a cowboy, trained his war horse to be a cow horse. His name is Bird Horse, and he knew that good, respectable cows had a bell on their neck, and they would stay close to the ranch or close to the wagon, and the other cows on the Oregon and the Bozeman Trail would stay close to that sound. And so that's how my mother was named, and then that's where I come from. Thought is how you become a human being. And so my grandpa would always wake me up in the morning and say, "They don't make land anymore. Get up." Thought is how you become a human being. Go to school and get an education. That's all I've ever known. And that's all I've ever done with my life. And you see, you can see through thought, like that cloud's shadow touching the Saurogia Mountains. You see, when your thoughts touch something you know, and then going on like that, and that I can still hear him. And I used to make a bulletin board every month at this place where I was teaching, and this was the last one, so to speak. And we had a different bunch of students that they started writing bad things next to my poetry. And so I just quit after this one at that place. And I thought about it after a while. As a teacher and a missionary, they had this Jehovah's Witness who come to the reservation and said, yeah. I said, well, what do you want? And, we're Jehovah's Witness. And the Indian, he said, I never saw nothing or heard anything. But anyway, I thought of wanting the missionary, I've been baptized 7 times. And so to keep pushing our thought as a teacher and a missionary and going after them. And then I settled down for a while, but this is back in the days when I thought I was a missionary teacher here. But thought is like a cloud. You can see through shadow to see nothing, but you can see shadow when it touches something you know. Like that cloud shadow touching the Wolf Teeth Mountains, when the clouds touch the mountain's top or where it is high. The wind is good when you're among the clouds, blurred ground among fog. You are close to he who first did everything, said my grandfather, owns painted horse. We are but nomads, asking for nothing but the blessings upon our Mother Earth. We are born as someone new, so then we have to be taught the good from the bad. What is good we want you to know. What is good we want you to use in the way that you are a person. That's how that one goes. Okay, all right, I'll quit with this one here, but you can ask me some questions if you want. And I enjoy life, and I have seen nice things. And today I bring beautiful thoughts for you to put on your heart, like the flowers coming out of Mother Earth's heart. The beautiful feeling of life is what I bring to you, and that's what I give you, like that. And just like the old man said, I'll ask for more beautiful thoughts for you. And so I'll ask for more beautiful thoughts for you, my people from the lodges of driftwood, like this here. And there are a lot of people in the valley and in town here, but you people chose to come over here. And as a result of that, may good days be added to your lives. Like that. That's how they say it. Just like me, when I go back home, I'll ask the Maker for more good days for you people that came and listened to how my grandfather thinks, and my people, the children of the large-beaked bird, the Apsaruga, and that's where I come from. The life that came up Elk River, walking with the wolf from the Earth Lodge and coming up here and in search of the sacred plant of the tobacco from the Chief Mountain clear on over to Canadian River. And the lullaby that I heard, the lyrics go, Raven, where do you eat? Up Canadian River is where I eat. I make a lot of noise fighting the dogs for my food, where wolves have gone, where deer have gone. And so this is what's left of us, the people that, the ones with the bridge cloth, and then the ones that cross the big pond. And so this is who we are, and to take care of this. We have a big monumental task in front of us right now with this global warming and all of these things, and any way that we can make it better. We can make this world a better place to live. Is with a lot of all these books here And so somewhere we possess the thought to make this a better world, and so that's what we're after. Okay, and the promise of love and life in the moon beckons our rider to cinch real loose for an easy day of riding through Yellowstone. The mountain woman of Pueblo wore a pair of elk teeth for the feeling that she is the beautiful woman of the mountain. Told her rider to meet her on the Wind River in the moon when the birds return. Early mornings, empty streets haunt as do late night road crosses. All I can remember today are the losses. Alone traveling to celebrate winter's end, people routinely work and wish for better. He was a tarnished sun that rose, rendering all of the reflections posed that I remember myself as a feeling in the wind. The vision of a feeling drives the heart slowly through a life where people hide from themselves in thick underbrush in the shadows of their hearts. I want nothing to cling to your heart as you go riding in life. That is what I have asked for you, like that. Okay?